Hi everyone, and welcome to Paper Pumpkin Week here on Creative Chelsey. Over the past couple days, I have shared some great card ideas that you can make with one set of supplies from this month's kit. Today I'm sharing my last set of alternative cards using the leftover scraps from the December 2023 Paper Pumpkin kit called All the Best. This beautiful kit creates a total of 9 greeting cards, 3 in each of these 3 designs. Plus it includes 1 acetate box that you can fit the cards in and give it as a gift. These are the intended projects that you can make with the kit. If you would like to watch me unbox the kit and create these cards or see any of my other alternative cards, you can click on the playlist in the top right corner. So today's cards use up the scraps that I had left over from making my other alternatives. I love playing with the layers and adding patterns with the stamps from the kit. If you are new to my channel and want to see more of my videos, click on the subscribe button in the bottom right corner. I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and help you with any of your paper crafting needs. To purchase any of these products that you see me use today, please visit my online store and the link is below in the description. Let's first begin by talking about the pieces that I have left over. So I have kind of a large piece. This is 2 3/4 inches. And we're going to trim this down just a little bit. And then I have a balmy blue piece that is 3.5 inches by 4 1/4 inches. We're also going to cut this into 2 pieces. And then I have a sky piece that's just the white that is about 2 inches by 4 1/4 inches. And we're going to leave this one as is. So let's start with our balmy blue piece. I'm going to take it and cut it at 2 inches. So now I have one that's 2 inches and one that is 1.5 inches. And so the 1.5 inches will be for my yellow card. And the 2 inches is going to be for my gray card. And I think I'm not going to trim, I'm just going to trim a little bit off that because I have a little bit showing of the fold and I don't want that. So just look at your edges. If you need to make any trimming, you can do that. This one I do want to trim to 4 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that. I think it's 4 inches. Let's just double check. It's a little too late now, but yeah, 4 inches. Okay, so that's that. And you can find all the measurements for these on my blog. So the sky piece we're leaving alone. The dark sky piece we're going to cut. And we're going to cut this one at 2 1/4 inches. And then this half piece here, we're going to use on this piece. Okay, so lots of little pieces. I also have a soft sea foam piece that is 2 inches by 4 inches. And that's for the gray piece as well. And then from the kit, I also have the large flower and then a single flower left over. I think this is the larger of the 2. And those will be on my cards as well. So let's go ahead and start with this card. And I'm going to begin with the stamping. I have both of the little seed pod images on a clear block and at 2 different angles, but close to each other. And that's going to help me create a pattern. And I'm going to use Old Olive to stamp this pattern on the soft sea foam piece. And you're just kind of randomly rotating the pieces so that you get a nice pattern. And you can see how by adding the stamps together, you can create a pattern quickly. So it's going to look something like this. And I'm just going to wipe up my clear glass mat a little bit. The other thing I'm going to stamp is my greeting, and I want to do it down here in the bottom right corner. And that is going to be stamped with the Pebbled Path. And I'm just going to use the Hello Friend because it fits really nicely in that space. If you wanted to add another piece of cardstock as kind of a label, you can do that too. But I liked how this looks, just right onto the pattern paper. just like that. So once you have stamped that, everything comes together really quickly. You're just going to use a card base of Pebbled Path. And I like the dark color here. It really helps these softer colors pop. I'm going to begin with my soft sea foam up here in the top left corner with about 1/4 of an inch or so around. Then I'm going to add my sky piece, and this is going to be more in the center, but again, the same amount of spacing on the right side. On the blue piece, I would like to tie some twine around this. I'm going to use that same crumb cake twine that I've used on my past alternatives for this kit. And I have 14 inches. Just going to slide that in between here and tie it on the left side at about 3/4 of an inch or an inch from the bottom. I do want to tie a knot first and then a bow. So once you have your bow, you do want it to be inside your paper, so not right along the edge. And then you can add your large flower with some dimensionals. And I am going to just use the edges. If you want, you can tuck it underneath or have it on top. The one that I did already was tucked underneath, but I think this one I will just have it be on top, and then you can see the difference and decide which one you like better. It will look something like this. And then we're going to add dimensionals to the back of this as well. Make sure to place them below your string so that it doesn't fall off. And then this just goes, again, you want to have about that same amount of spacing that you've added on the bottom, and then it just goes right next to your greeting. And straighten out that twine a little bit, and your card is all done. Super fast, really easy pattern that or layout that you can use for any cards when you have leftover scraps. For card number 2, we're going to do a little more stamping. I'm using a lemon lolly card base. And we're going to stamp both on the card base and on that balmy blue strip. So I need to clean the little seed pods again, because we're going to use that. And I'm going to use the crushed curry ink for those, so on the background. So you're going to start by stamping a couple dark colors, but once you stamp it in dark, kind of do another stamp in a lighter, and then you're going to get this really nice depth to your image. So let's do that again, maybe one dark, and then let's do another one that's light. We'll just kind of do it right by it. Okay, you don't need too many because they do get covered up. And let's come down here and do that again. When you do the first stamp, you want to make sure that it's a full image. So I didn't do a second stamp on this one because it wasn't a full image, and this one was. If you do that, if you do a second generation stamp from this one, you're going to get darker where it didn't stamp on the cardstock. I think that makes sense, hopefully, to you. Okay, so something like that. I just added it in the top left and bottom right corners. And then you're going to grab some balmy blue ink and the other 2 floral images that came in the stamp set that was part of this kit. And we're going to create kind of a little meadow. And we're going to do this kind of the same thing, a stamp off, stamp on. So you want to grab some scratch paper. I just have that envelope piece. So for the larger flower, that's full strength ink. And you're just going to add it in a couple different places. Focus along the bottom. You can have some go up a little bit higher, but you don't want to do too high. So maybe something like that. And then the smaller one, we're going to do the stamp off, stamp on. So stamp off on some scratch paper, and then you're going to stamp on. And I did leave a gap here so that I could have a couple kind of peeking out. Can you see those? And then we'll do another one here. I think that's good. So just kind of fill in the gaps with those smaller flowers. And then we're just going to add these to the center. Oh, we do need to stamp our greeting. And again, we're going to stamp it on this pattern paper. And I love the idea of this 1,000 good luck wishes because it's that dandelion image. So we're going to use the pebbled path so we can see this through the pattern. And just right in that bottom right corner. And then we'll start adding these to our card. So this should be 4 inches. I have a feeling it's not, so I need to trim it down just a little bit. So I'm going to trim on this open side here to 4 inches. So let's start with this piece. I'm just going to eyeball it. It looks like it's sitting at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1.5 inches from the bottom. Then I'm going to add the meadow piece on top of that. There's plenty of space for it to kind of overlap. I think I'm actually just going to bring it up to 1 inch from the top. There. You want to make sure that the edges match. Okay, so make sure that they match so that it looks like it's just one piece. Then we're going to add the strip kind of over that seam. And this is 4 1/4, so it will go a little bit further. And then I did want to add a little bit of twine, but because my card base opens from the right side and not from the top, it's hard to wrap twine around. So I have a little tip for you. What you can do is take a hole punch and you're just going to punch a small little shape right where you want your twine. So do you see that little opening there? It's not even a full hole punch. It's maybe like half. And then what happens is when you open up your card, you have a hole that you can string your twine through. So for this one, I have about 20 inches of twine. And I'm just going to string it through that hole. And let's try to pull it so it's nice and straight across. And then I'm just going to go ahead and tie a knot, and then I can move it to be, you know, where I want it to be, because it probably won't be in the right spot. Okay, so I think I want it to be a little bit more inside the card, maybe about a 1/2 inch or so. And then you can tie your bow. And then we're going to add our little flower right next to our greeting with some dimensionals. And it looks like I do have a little one I can kind of squeeze into this leaf shape here. And it looks like I have, oh no, that's not a mark. So I'm just going to kind of hug my greeting a little bit and place it like that. And my card is all done. I love the fun textures that we're getting from the stamps on these cards. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching me create these fun cards today. If you're interested in getting written instructions or seeing close-up images, you can visit my blog, creativechelsey.com. If you would like to subscribe to get your own paper pumpkin kit, please use the link in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. Have a creative day. Bye.